Now, I get many requests on YouTube, and one I get asked a lot for is a Dragonfly Nymph. Now, it's something I rarely tie. I mean, it's that long since I tied one. I can't remember. So basically, it's the Dragonfly Nymph. I mean, they're big, as well as, I mean, they develop as the years goes on. They get bigger to a certain point, and there's 2 or 3 species, or well, there's more than 2 or 3. There's quite a lot. The best known here, in the smaller size, would be the damsel, but the large dragonfly, they're basically the red-bodied version. I don't know their names, but then you get the huge one. It's really, really big that we get. You see them in the summer months flying about the burns, catching flies and so. But anyway, I'm going to give a go at tying a Dragonfly Nymph. Now, the hook I'm using, this is an unusual hook. It's a bomber hook. It's a size 8 bomber hook. It's just, the shape's nice. It's just ideal. So I'm just using for what materials I have. You just use what you have as well, as much as I'm doing. Now, the first thing I'm going to do really is to put a layer of thread in the body, which is to give us grip. Now, I have waxed the thread, or run the wax through it, and I'm going to start the thread at the eye. Now, this is an olive dun uni thread 8/0. So I'm just basically going to run the thread down until I reach the point of the hook, and then remove the waste. Then I'm basically going to come back up, and I'm going to tie in the eyes. This is the unusual bit, so I'm using what I've got. So I've actually got these are easy shrimp eyes. As you can see here, these are extra small. Now, I just thought when I said there's other uses for, I mean, other than tying a shrimp with these, you can use them in the eyes. I'm going to use them in the eyes of this dragonfly. So I'm going to take the thread back up to the eye. I'm going to tie them in so that the eyes, so I'm say around about 1.5 mm from the eye itself. I'm going to tie these on here. I'm just going to make sure that it's tied in the top. There's a plastic tapered, which is going to help bulk up, or help give us the shape of the dragonfly. So I'm just going to make sure it's tied in a bit, and then I'm going to bring the eyes out. So if you look at it, I'm around about, say, 2.5 to 3 mils from the eye. So I'm going to bring the eyes out, and then I'm going to figure 8 through, just to hold them out. I'm not going to come up into the actual the eye itself. I want to keep them kind of natural, flexy like. So, but you can see these are orange, a hot orange. I think it says translucent red though. They are very orangey, and I quite like the look at the shine. I thought they'd be ideal for the dragonfly. Now I'm going to continue down the body, making sure it's tied in. Now the good thing about these, the shrimps, the easy shrimp eyes, is I've got a fine sort of, what do you call, grooves on the actual plastic, which gives you plenty of grip. So you can actually tie it down nice and tight. Now, if you want to actually add weight to the fly, you can obviously add a lead. So you can put lead in the side. Now I have got some lead wire. It's quite a heavy lead wire. I'm going to put this on the side just to help with the shape. Now I don't want to be too close to the eyes, because I want to get the profile of the actual dragonfly. We need to build the sides out slightly. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting the lead on the side, and then breaking it. If you look on here, I'm just going to build it up and break it off short and do the other side. Just going to bring the thread back up quick. So I'm really just forming a shape. See what that looks like. And again, just going to do the same again. As long as you're still tapering towards the back. Obviously you can put the shape into it using the dubbing as well, but you still need this tapered shape in the body, this profile. Again, see what we're like. It's looking a wee bit better. And I'm going to take it back up. Start just slightly by, and again just come round. This time I'm going to come all the way towards the back. Do the same again. If you look how it's building up, and then we get to the back, we can break it off. We can still move the lead about, and I've got a pair of pliers here. I can just press down just to make sure it's got that nice flat profile, nice and tight. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to super glue some super glue on the top here and underneath. Make sure you put plenty on there, this will help stop it rolling. There's many ways you could actually get this shape. And if you didn't want to add weight like this, you could just use nylon. And once you're happy with the shape, then we can really start to tie the rest of the fly. Now for the back of the Dragonfly, I'm going to be using, now bought this many years ago, it's called Body Flex. There's many companies that do this type of stuff. And this one originally was from a company called Lure Flash many years ago, and I've got, as I say, I bought loads of it. Now what I want to do here is cut just a straight across the actual Body Flex, and for the back I'm around about 7mm across, so I've cut it 7mm wide, and what I've done here, as you can see in the back of the card, I've marked it so that I can cut it to suit. And what you do is you basically cut it into a taper at the end, but keep it on the card when you do that. It's much easier to actually control. So we basically cut it into a taper and then remove it from the card like that. And we're going to tie it in by the tip because we want it to taper up on, so make sure plenty of grip. And it's nice and tight. So check it just to see how it's going to sit. So there's your width there across the back, and that'll sit on top. Now we're going to rib the fly, so I'm just going to use a 12, this is just a white nylon, 12-pound nylon I've got. This one here, I'll just use this as a rib. Now, don't need much. There's lots of other things you could rib it with. You could use wire or so, but nylon's fine. I'm just going to make sure that's tied in. Now I'm going to basically tie it on the underside. I'm going to chew the end. So just chew the end so it flattens it slightly and gives you grip. So we start at this point and see where I've tied it in. And then it's just a matter of doing the body. Now I'm just using this is just squirrel dubbing, tied just a nice olive. You can use many fibres, there's lots out there, I just like the natural dubbing. This one here's from Wopsy. Now just slightly dub it on. So I've just basically put plenty of dubbing onto my thread, and then I can work it up, stretching it out when I need to, and then just adding enough to form the body. Now it is heavier in the middle, so put plenty of dubbing in the centre, because that's the reason why we built up the body. Time. some more. The squirrel the dubbing's actually quite short, it's not a long fibre, which basically suits this type of fly. Don't want it too long, too straggly like. The only thing that's long in the Dragonfly Nymph in this is the legs really. It's got quite long legs. Just keep adding till we're happy. Do we come up to the thorax? Let's check what we're like. Looks fine. Just lay this on the back. Tie it down. What I'm doing is just basically put my nail on top to flatten it. It should fit the body, so what you're looking for is it's flat across the body like that. So there we are, and then when you're happy with that, we can then take away the excess, tidy this up. Now we're going to rib it. So we want to rivet the back onto the hook, and then we come up through. We want kind of straight turns, so we want to be nice and tight. So we get that first turn in, come over, use your nails just to hold it, just to hold the nylon tight. So basically get it to the point you want, and then you can then rib it up through. Nice and tight. Then we can tie off. Now, before we go any further, we can check the body. Just check to see if you've got the shape that you like and everything's sitting the way you want. Because you can always get back at this. That looks fine to me. So we can trim away the nylon. Again, just make sure it's nice and tidy. So up to the eyes and then back up. And now what I'm going to do is get the Velcro. And I'm just going to bring out some of the dubbing either side. Just get that nice shape. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie in some legs. Now the legs can be basically, it can be anything you want. Rubber legs, it could be, in this case I'm going to use pre-knotted pheasant tail legs, which have been dyed yet. These are dyed yellow, so it gives it just a wee bit more colour. I feel you could use whatever colour you have. I'm just going to tie these in. I'm going to actually put 3 or 4 either side. So and then I'm going to pull them up into this area here, and then finish off the head. So this is like that's the body, this is like the thorax area, and then the head. So they're all kind of separate. So the legs go in the thorax area. So as I say, I'm going to put a bunch on, and they're quite leggy, the damsels. So sorry, the dragonflies. So I'm going to pull some off. Length, I'm going to make sure the legs are coming towards the back. So I'm just going to offer them either side. It's fine. As I say, there's a few there, so you're looking at least 4, so you can pull them around, give it more room or more movement. So I think there's about 5 in there, and that'll do it. So again, I'm just putting them on the side, not underneath. I'm going to make sure they're tied in first, so as you can see they're tied in like that, and then I'm going to take away the excess. Again, say tidy up. So this is the thorax area. So what I'm going to do is get some more of the dubbing, and then what I'm going to do is just start to wind towards the eye. But what I want to do is bring out some of the legs. So I'm going to put at least 2 towards the back, either side. So all I do is bring forward. In this case there's 3. I'm bringing these forward, just bring them out. And then come over, turn the dubbin, tighten up, and then come back with a couple. One my side, one your side. Just basically forcing them out, putting life into the nymph. And tighten up when you need to. Now again, you bring another two. Just bring them apart, bring them out to the side with the dubbin, and the very last two, just do the same again. Bring the dubbin up against the head of the eyes. So that basically spreads them out. You'll see how what they look like. I'm just going to roll them back with my fingers. So now we're ready to tie in. Basically, it's the head over the back and thorax cover. So we basically want this to come towards the back. So there's your measure there, and we want to cut it into a point. So this is the same, the body flex. So we measure the distance. So we look at the distance we want, and then we cut in front of the eye. Then we cut this into a point. Let's remove it from the card. Then we tie it in. So we're going to tie it off at the back here, but we're going to tie it, we'll bring the thread to the front, and then just basically tie this in by the tip over the eye. So you can move it around. So you need that taper. You see where it is, make sure it's nice and tight. Now we can build up a wee bit of dubbin. So the head. Just build it up. It's got a very pronounced head, so don't be shy. And then just going to figure eight through it with the dubbin, but end up with the thread at the back. And then we can bring this over. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. And catch it at the back. So we basically come over the back. Nice and tight. So where we are. There's plenty there, so we're not going to be short. We can trim this a wee bit. If you're happy with that, what I'm going to do is just put a tiny bit of dubbin onto my thread just to tidy it up. And what I like to do is just get some super glue, put it onto my thread. A couple of turns through, and straight in about finish. And that really sets quick, so you've really got to be quick when you do that. And there we are. Now, with thorax cover, we can pull it back. So what I'm going to do is, we want to basically cut this partly in line with the body here. So it's just a nice straight cut. And there we are. And that's the Dragonfly Nymph. If you feel you want to put a wee bit of varnish in there, if you do, you just tap it in there, it's fine. If you want to put a wee sort of V-cut at the back to make the look better, I don't think it'll make any much difference. But there we are. It's just a version, as I say, of a dragonfly sort of nymph. As I said, I don't do many. I just tied it with the materials I had at hand, and I've got plenty of knotted legs, obviously, and I've got shrimpy eyes, which are really good, and I like the way that it's something different. It's to give you ideas and inspiration as we all look for it, and there we are. So I hope you enjoyed that, and that's the Dragonfly Nymph.